Hey guys, Shroom here, and today I'm going to be testing a car that goes so fast that flies so high that I can't even make it to the shortcut, my newly 4-starred SSC Tuatara in Asphalt 9. I'll be testing this car in the Ghost multiplayer season, not Slipstream, just Ghost, and I've upgraded it to almost its full potential that it could be at this point. Unfortunately, I don't have as many epics as I would like, but I do have one on acceleration. Please consider subscribing if you have not already. I have a video about the LVN and the Generic coming soon as well, and please consider checking out my other channels, Furum Clips, Furum TV, as well as my Purple Team Discord. Links to those will be down in the description, and I hope you enjoy the video. So I know this goes without saying at this point, but the Tuatara is one of the best cars in the game. Definitely in the top 5. There's some debate as to whether or not it's better than the Jesko. Personally, I like the Jesko just a little bit more. I have them both at 4 stars now, and the Jesko just feels ever so slightly, I don't know if agile is the right word, but the Tuatara, I guess, feels slightly more stiff than the Jesko, although I will say going from 3 stars to 4 stars has made a big difference. My biggest issue with the 3-star Tuatara, and why I never really felt like it was especially amazing, was primarily the drifting. The 3-star Tuatara does not drift all that great. The 4-star Tuatara definitely makes up for that, and I can say it drifts a lot better now, and I don't really have that issue with it anymore. I 4-starred this car during its special event that completed not long ago. Now, I spent 9,000 tokens on 100 packs for this car, so 10 of the 900 token 10 times packs, and I was down to my last 900 tokens. And with that 900 tokens, I was able to 4-star it. Yeah, I got some decently good luck in the beginning, but then 4 of the 10 times packs in a row only gave me the 3 on the last one. I thought I was going to have a few thousand tokens left over with the way the first ones were going, but I think all my luck went into my first few pack openings, and none in the last ones. And then finally, in, wouldn't you know it, the very last pack, I got like 9 or something, and I only needed 2. So anyways, now I have a few blueprints that I can put towards 5-starring this car eventually, because I would like to do that, given that the Jesko is out of the S-Class Elite and everything. Would be cool to get this car up to a point where it is more competitive. I feel okay about it at 4 stars, though, definitely more at 3 stars. One thing that I've learned, a lot of S-Class cars, especially the high top speed ones, generally start getting really good and living up to their full potential around 4 stars. 3 stars and below, maybe not so great. I mean, they can still do good, but 4 stars and above, I really feel like they begin to shine. In that race, we did beat a Jesko. He was lower, and in this race here, we're going to be facing a Bugatti Chiron. And speaking of Bugatti, there's been some debate as to how good the Bolide actually is, the new Drive Syndicate 6 car, which, by the way, I am in the process of going through. I've gotten to the 4th unit, or whatever you want to call it, in the Praga section. I'm almost to the point where I can unlock the Bentley. Getting pretty close to that. Will be really cool to unlock another previously Legend Pass car. That will be my 124th car. The Praga was actually my 123rd, which is a nice round number to see in my garage. But yeah, the Bolide, I've driven it a good bit in not only the Drive Syndicate, also in its multiplayer season, which I will be making a video of in a few days, probably close to the end of the season, so that I can get those juicy races. And, I mean, also the fact that, well, I can only play 3 races in it every 6 hours, unless I want to play a bunch of ads, which I did do, actually, for the Tuatara and the Regera, so I probably will do that again there. The other thing is, I like to be in at least Pro League when I make, or when I record races for videos, because I feel like below that, the competition isn't all that great, and it doesn't really show the potential of the car. So that's why I haven't uploaded a Bolide video yet, and why I usually upload videos, especially in high top speed cars, toward the end of season, so I can get more races in them, because I don't buy the Legend Pass, so I don't have extra fuel. Tangent aside, how good is the Bolide? Well, I can say it's fun to drive. I know that may surprise some of you, because it is also difficult to drive, considering its nitro efficiency at max is the worst in the game. Its stock nitro efficiency is not the worst. That medal goes to the Peugeot SR1. I made a mistake by saying that in my video about the update. Some people point that out in the comments. Just want to make that clear. It does have the worst max nitro, though. That much I'm pretty sure is true. Now, that does make the car feel a lot like driving the Tryon Nemesis, for example, and I'll have more to say about it in its own video, but just generally, I will say the thing that makes it fun is the drifting. Its drifting is so good, it gets around almost any corner without being able to hit the sides, and because of that, it doesn't necessarily need a super huge amount of nitro to, say, get up to speed after going around a corner and hitting the side, because it doesn't really even hit the sides that much. So where does the Bolide fall into the grand scheme of things? I would say it's not as good as the Tuatara or the Jesko, simply due to the fact that with its very low nitro, I mean, even with its great drifting and everything, it's probably not going to be able to keep as good of speed around most tracks as these two cars can. Even though it is just as fast as them, it's actually ever so slightly faster than the Jesko. I don't think it's going to beat the Tuatara or the Jesko on at least the majority of tracks. So my guess is the Bolide will be the new 4th best car in the game. Now that's just my speculation. I haven't really seen or done many tests with it yet to see, but that's my speculation at this point. In terms of how difficult do I think the event is going to be, I would say that it is somewhere around as difficult as the ones we've gotten before. You know, we're probably never going to get a Drive Syndicate as good in relative terms, I guess, as the Rimac one was. Again, that was the only Drive Syndicate I've been able to complete and actually get the car in the Drive Syndicate, because it was the only one that wasn't completely pay to win. Well, the Jesko one technically wasn't. You could get the Jesko with around 21,000 tokens, which I didn't have at the time, so I didn't win that Drive Syndicate. So at this point, the Jesko is actually the 2nd best Drive Syndicate. That's so weird to say, considering we thought it was the worst thing in the world when it came out. But the Bolide Drive Syndicate, you know, it's like the Chimera one or whatever, from what I can tell. We're going to get the relay packs pretty soon, but again, the Syndicate coins can only be bought with real money. All of the cars in the event you have to have at a minimum of 2 stars below their max star. So the Praga, for example, it's a 4-star car, so you have to have it at 2 stars minimum to move on in the event. Now, I will say, there is one thing I discovered, and I don't know if anyone else has pointed this out yet, and I doubt I'm the first one to do it, but I want to say it here, just so you guys know. The wildcard blueprints that Gameloft added in one of the most recent updates to the game can be vital for Drive Syndicates. And let me explain. So I was able to use multiple of the 1-star D-class blueprints that I've gotten over time to start up the Praga without spending Syndicate coins on its packs. Now, this isn't going to save a whole lot of Syndicate coins in the long run, obviously, because it's a D-class car. It doesn't cost a ton to buy its packs with Syndicate coins, but still, that could save many thousands of Syndicate coins in the long run. And like, for example, with the Moliner Bacalar, I'll be able to use some of my C-class wildcards, granted not too many, but I'll be able to save again at least a few thousand Syndicate coins on packs for that. So that is one thing I would say. If you're really interested in Drive Syndicates and getting as far as you can in them, save as many wildcards as you can for Drive Syndicates. I did make the mistake of spending a few of my wildcards to star up a car. I think it was the EB10 or something, just because I was super close to 2-starring it and I wanted to so I can make it purple. But I think from now on, I'll save most of the wild cards I get for Drive Syndicates, given that this is probably one of the most useful places you can use them. So in case you didn't see my last video with the Regera, this right here is the second in a series of longer videos that I am making during the holiday season as I am off school and I have more time to record stuff. I haven't decided yet whether I want to make the Chimera and LVN videos longer as well. Those will be coming soon, but we shall see. I think it's quite likely. I just wanted to give you guys some extra content for the holidays as a Christmas present for me to you, just to thank everyone for all the support this year and in years past. It's crazy. I'm coming up next year in March or May, I forget, but that will be the 8-year anniversary of this channel and my 10-year anniversary of YouTube, period. Because many of you guys know that I had a LEGO stop-motion channel called Fury for about 2 years before I started this channel here. So yeah, that'll be 10 years of me on YouTube. Kind of insane. I'm not entirely sure what I'll do yet, but I want to make a special video just, I don't know, maybe going over everything that's happened in those 10 years that I've been on YouTube, just from beginning to end, because a while back, several years ago, I made a video talking about my YouTube story at 11,000 subscribers. And I'm thinking I might make maybe a sort of updated version of that, since it's been a few years since then, at my 10-year anniversary of YouTube. Just, going through everything and documenting it. So let me know down in the comments if you have any cool ideas of something I could do for that. Now, here at the end of this race is where you can really see the power of the Tuatara. I had two Shirens ahead of me, and I managed to pass them both just in the last few seconds to come in first in this race, from third to first in 5 seconds. The Shiren is a very fast car, but the Tuatara is even faster by a good few miles per hour, to put it lightly, and so that's, I guess, the kind of situation where this extra speed really comes in handy. In 95% of cases, it doesn't. I mean, it's rare on most tracks to even get up close to that kind of top speed. For example, on this variant in San Francisco here, you really don't see this car's super high top speed come into play much. There's a lot of jumps and things like that, but there's no like super long straight sections where this car can really do what it just did in the last race. But this is where it's great to see that this car's other stats are also at least pretty good. I mean, the nitro efficiency obviously is not the best, but it's decent. The drifting and handling are again decent, and so is the acceleration. This car at 4 stars doesn't really have any specific huge drawback anymore that I have found, at least that I have experienced, that holds it a whole lot back. Unlike the Bolide, which has that crazy low acceleration that never really gets better. This car doesn't really struggle with that so much. So it's overall similar to the Jesko, but still somewhat different. A fairly well-rounded-ish high-end S-Class car that, even though obviously the high top speed is super great, all of its other stats are good enough that even in cases where the high top speed does not come into play, it still can do fairly well. Like this race on Osaka here, obviously, Osaka is not one of those high top speed tracks where you're gonna see this car go 300 miles per hour. But you can still see it do pretty well and hold its own against cars like the Shiren and the Speedtail. So with that, I guess I'll give my general review about this car. I've been talking about its stats a good bit, but overall, is this car worth it? I would say absolutely. And there's a few reasons for that. First of all, it's just one of the best cars in the game, and along with the Jesko is one of the very best free-to-play cars that is possible to get. This car had key packs where you could get the key in, the Jesko had its Grand Prix, and so you do see a lot of free-to-play players now having this car and the Jesko out on the roads, which I think is pretty cool. But the Tuatara does have one notable advantage over the Jesko now, in that it is available to drive in the S-Class Elite events, so if you want to get a good time there, this is the free-to-play car to go for. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, Minecraft, and other games content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!